All right, there we go. So we are live on the TikTok, and we are also live on the Tube of You and the Book of Faces. So welcome in, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Sacred Sunday with me, Allison. And I just want to just say welcome in to the people who are new to me. I am a Reiki master healer and teacher. I am also a spiritual empowerment coach for women who are in midlife. Also, hello, Nine Ether Being. Long time no see for show. I'm also a two-time published author. My first book is starting over at 40, My Sacred Journey of Self-Love, of self-discovery, empowerment, and self-love. And then my second book is Seven Steps to Spiritual Liberation for Black Women, Healing Beyond Religion, and reclaiming or reconnecting rather your connection to the divine on your own terms, reconnecting to the divine on your own terms. So those are my two books. They are both available in bio if you are interested um, in either one. So today we're going to be talking about. I got something over here. I need to. My light went out. Hold on a second. There we go. All right, let me change that. Just a second. There we go. All right. So today we are talking about cosmic crossroads. And so, what this week's energy means regarding our clarity, consistency, and confidence. Because as a coach, that is my main concern when it comes to my community is us having clarity, us being consistent, and building our confidence. Nine Ether being said, as I'm walking through a crossroad. hmm we're all going through some crossroads here. So let me just say, I am not an astrologer. Astrology is not my strong suit. I'm still learning a lot of it. I have an understanding of the energy of the zodiac, so I'm just going to be speaking from those terms, okay? But I want to talk about what's happening, okay? So tomorrow is June 29th, and we will have a full moon in Capricorn. Right alongside of that energy, we have Mercury stationing retrograde in Cancer. Uh-huh. Both on the same day. And then on June 30th, Jupiter shifts into Leo for the first time in 12 years. So again, I am not a trained astrologer, but we just going to talk based on the zodiac and what information we know about the zodiac. And I want to present this as to what this means to the women in my community who are doing the work of clarity, consistency, and confidence. So I just want to kind of set the tone that this is practical, spiritual, and grounded, and not based on fear. Thank you all for the hearts. Keep them coming. Keep the gifts coming because I do have goals up above that are on the TikTok. Make sure you are sharing this live. Thank you, thank you, thank you. For those that are on the Tube of You in the Book of Faces, come on in the room, say hello. And Goddess Quayle, hey girl. Um, Make sure you are also sharing this live. So, yay, God is very entertained. Is in my audience. I'm so happy to see my friend. Okay, y'all. So let's start with the first point. So the full moon in Capricorn. This is where clarity meets accountability. Okay. So the Capricorn full moon asks, excuse me, what have you been building? And is it actually built in truth? What have you been building? And is it actually built in truth? Thinking about that takes me to very much throat chakra energy. So I'm asking, what have you been building that isn't necessarily based on your truth, but it's built on the expectations that others have of you, or of the things that you've been trained to think this is what you should be building right about now and doing. And think about it like this, and as we're all bombarded by social media and we're constantly being fed information, so we're constantly being told and trained as to what we should be doing, and how we should be acting, should look, should feel, etc., etc., instead of tapping into what is true, what is our truth, right? So this full moon sits opposite of Cancer, because Cancer is the sign of home and emotion, right? Cancer gets you all in your feelings, all in your feelings. Two of my very near and dear sisters are Cancers. They are my spiritual, well, the three of us, we are the spiritual mamas, but they are my spiritual mamas. Both of them are Cancers. And if ever someone would give me something thought provoking to get me in my feelings, it's them two. Every freaking time. And I'm like, okay, why? Why are y'all doing that? But I love that they do it because it gets me in my body, gets me back out of my head and into my body. So yes, this full moon sits opposite of Cancer. And so it's asking you to look honestly in the gap between your public life and your private life. It's also about your ambition and your actual well-being. And it's funny that this is coming up because the other day when I was walking, I was thinking about this. I was thinking about how we as women are trained to wear a myriad of hats and masks, right? And so we're so used to what is presented to the world. And the world means, the public at large, your coworkers, your clients, your family, your friends, your significant other. We have these hats and masks that we put on and take off simultaneously on this journey. But when it's time for us to sit by ourselves and sit within doing the work, which one of those personas or lives that you live, which one makes you feel more at home? Which one makes you feel more like you? Which one of them is more like you? And is that someone that you're actually presenting to the world, or are you too afraid to show her? Fear of judgment, fear of not being accepted, etc. So with Capricorn and Cancer being kind of opposite of one another in a way, it's still asking you to look at that gap, public life, private life. In between there, start examining those things. So, with these events, there are positives and then there are not so positives. So, the positive of the full moon in Capricorn. So, this is a powerful moment of clarity. So, whatever has been like quietly building in your life, whatever you have been feeling has been building up, and things that you have been pondering, thinking about, it keeps coming up for you to take action on it. During this particular full moon, it's asking to be acknowledged, because this moon is going to bring all of that to the surface. It's actually tomorrow, but it depends on where you are in the world. But it's tomorrow, the full moon. Um, so it's more of a natural checkpoint for yourself, and kind of like a spiritual mid-year review. Now I'm gonna stop right there, because some of you know and some of you don't. Right now, for the month of June, and I'm actually running it through July 4th to give people a chance to sign up for it. I'm actually doing a My Sacred Year mid-year reset reading and planning session, that I'm offering, and you can still sign up for it and get you a nice thorough reading and planning session, so you can understand, with the energy that's happening right now in mid-year, what should you be concentrating on, what should you be doing. And I'm going to tell you the ones that I've done so far. What's very interesting is some of the women who have booked these sessions are finding out that they have been pretty much running in circles doing things that energetically they shouldn't have been doing, that they need to actually go in the opposite direction, because they're like, I can't get anywhere. Okay, well, now we see why. Because energetically, you're not in the place that you need to be. And that happens because a lot of times we think, and some of it is we go on emotion. Like I said, we're heavily influenced by what we see around us online, social media, etc. God is hella cute. Um, so we are heavily influenced by those things. And so sometimes that influence leads us into the wrong direction. But that's okay. We can get reset. We can come back. So now let's talk about the not so positive. So the full moon amplifies emotion. And Capricorn energy can bring up some old stuff. Capricorn energy can bring up some old pressure around achievements, responsibility, not having enough, not feeling enough, not showing your efforts, that it's all in vain. It can make you feel that way. Okay. And if you are prone to self-criticism, this energy could amplify that. Just warning you. But here's what you can do to combat it. If you use like essential oils, and it's really one of the things about being intuitive, you start doing things and you don't even realize that you're doing it. Last week, I started feeling more drawn to use frankincense and copaiba, and I've been like putting that on my feet, and it has been very grounding. So, frankincense and copaiba. Now, both of those can be a little expensive. So, a less expensive alternative to those would be cedarwood. Cedarwood is very, very grounding. And you don't necessarily have to use the oils, y'all. You can go in to your local metaphysical place, get you some frankincense incense and burn that. That can be very grounding. The other part of that, since we're grounding, this is root chakra work. Eat some foods that are good for the root chakra. So your red foods, your root vegetables, things like that. If you're a meat eater, you might want to amp up your protein, you know. Um, but different things like that. Go outside, put your bare feet on the ground. That's the most inexpensive thing that you can do. Put your bare feet on the ground. Go and touch grass. Ooh, thank you for that. That was beautiful. I love that. Um, Go out, touch grass, and get yourself grounded in that way. Now, something else that I have to offer is my new membership. Yay! And it's called the Rooted and Radiant Membership, the Sacred Sisterhood. Join it. It's very inexpensive. It's $44 a month, or you can pay it up for the whole year, $333. Every month we have a new theme. For instance, we start next month. So next month's theme, we starting off hitting the ground running. Who am I really? That is the theme. If you have been like trying to figure out who am I right now in this phase of my life, you need to join that membership. Because if you've been wanting to get coaching from me, but you can't afford coaching from me, this is a great alternative. Because every month we do a live session where I will teach and then I will do hot seat coaching. So, I'll pull like a couple of people and say, okay, let's talk about it and give you one on the spot coaching. And if you don't get picked that time, don't, lose sleep, because here's the thing, if it's true for one of us, it's true for all of us, that we're all struggling with those things. So everybody just let's take a breath, because we got this. All right. Okay, let's go to number 2. So like I said, we got the full moon in Capricorn tomorrow. And we also starting Mercury retrograde in Cancer. Same day. Hold on. But this is where consistency gets tested. So this is where your consistency is going to get tested, because Mercury retrograde has this reputation. And most people immediately, as soon as someone says something about Mercury retrograde, is, oh my Lord, oh my gosh, calm down. Because here's what I have come to embrace about Mercury retrogrades. Mercury retrogrades are coming to do a pattern interrupt. That's it. Shake things up with a pattern interrupt. So, with Cancer specifically, this is about your emotional communication, your home, family, and old emotional patterns resurfacing. And this is going to last till like July 23rd, somewhere in there. But again, this is a pattern interrupt. So if consistency is something you've been struggling with, most of the time we struggle with consistency because of bad habits and patterns that we can't seem to loose and let go. So the positive about this is a gift for reflection. Old relationships, old conversations, unfinished emotional business may resurface, but it's not to torment you. It's not. But it's giving you a chance to finally close the loop. Like I said, this is for pattern interrupt. And I have my affirmation cards. I actually meant to pull one for the last point, and I'm going to do that. Let me do that right now, because I was going to pull an affirmation card so that we'll have a nice affirmation for the full moon in Capricorn. So let me do that now. All right. Menopausal brain makes me forget stuff. And the funny thing is, I'm looking right at these cards and I still forgot to pull it. see what affirmation comes up. So this is for, okay, I love it. This is for the full moon. Sky Woman. Sky Woman comes up. And she's all about freedom. And the affirmation says, I easily give birth to my miracles, magic, and mojo. I am free. I easily give birth to my miracles, magic, and mojo. I am free. So let me get back to this Mercury retrograde. So, like I said, this is not to torment you. Again, this is a pattern interrupt. This is a built in invitation for you to slow down and feel rather than just push through. Because we know how to push through stuff. We know how to like say, okay, well, I'm just going to do this. Because let's face it, we as women, we can be sick with the flu. We can be on our menses. We can be dealing with all kind of stuff, and we will still get up, go to work, come home, clean the house, cook dinner, get laundry started, and do all of these things. We know how to push through. We've been taught to do this. It's kind of like a second like sense for us. We just do it, right? But this time, at this moment, it's not, we're not pushing through. We're not bypassing. We're going to feel this because that's what's going to help bring you to the next level. That's what's going to help bridge those gaps. So remember in the first point where we're talking about between your personal life and your private life, your ambition and your well-being? Well, that space in between is you feeling your feelings and understanding where you're being directed, being able to feel like the chakras behind me, feeling within your body, in your energy, and understanding how to redirect and break up old patterns, old self sabotaging habits, and all of those things that we're used to doing that aren't serving us anymore. Because remember, the full moon first and foremost, is there to help you release what doesn't work anymore, what you don't need anymore. See, the full moon is about releasing, new moons are about receiving. That's why you do your manifestation work around these moon cycles, because in the new moon, you're being set up to be prepared to receive. We could do a whole like teaching on that. But the point is, I just want y'all to understand. So now let's talk about the not so great. So communication can get a little messy around this time, okay? Misunderstandings, miscommunications with family, feeling overly sensitive or being overreactive. Just remember, just breathe. Just breathe. This is not a moment to make big emotional decisions or assume the worst when someone is slow to respond. So, just because that person does not rush to text you back or give you the response immediately, this does not mean that you need to read into it. Take a beat. Take a beat. It doesn't always mean rejection, it just means we're slowing stuff down. We're slowing stuff down. That's it. We're releasing that pattern of thinking that we have to be microwave. Like everything has to be like I take it, I put it in the microwave, I hit start, and then within a minute it's done. Please know and understand, because I know most of us know this. The best meals are the ones that take a minute. Microwave meals don't taste that good. They'll keep you from being hungry, but they don't taste that good. It's not one of those like, oh my God, I just want to sit and savor the flavor. I really have never had a frozen dinner that was just that good. I've had some good ones, but I have never had those microwave meals. Exactly, Goddess Una. Exactly. But I've never had one of those. But what I have had is a home cooked, slow cooked meal. You know, like back in the day when our grandmamas would get up on a Sunday morning and she actually started her dinner like the night before, but she gets like a lot of it done, in the morning before church. So stuff is slow cooking and simmering, and you smell it permeating through the house. You come in and immediately you hungry and you're like, oh my God, grandmama is putting her foot in this food and I can't wait to eat it. That because it nourishes you. So slowing down is a point for you to get the nourishment you need so that you can go on. So, and this is why consistency matters as a pillar, not perfection, not pushing through, but having simple, steady spiritual practices that hold you together when the outer world feels unpredictable and just off the chain. And this is another thing that we work on and work through in the membership. So I'm inviting you to be part of it. So let's get our second affirmation. Excuse me. Oh, love it. Love it. Love it. Goddess Katesh. This is like my favorite card in this deck. And if you don't know, these are One Manifesting Fertility Goddess deck by Abiola Abrams. But this right here is my favorite card because she is all about the pleasure. And it says, it is good to feel good. Somebody type that in the comments. It is good to feel good. Yes, it is. It is good to feel good. My ecstasy is a manifesting force. My ecstasy is a manifesting force. This is actually an old deck. This is one of her first decks before she went to Hay House. It is good to feel good. My ecstasy is a manifesting force. You taking time for pleasure and slowing down and allowing this time during that Mercury retrograde in Cancer to help you peel back the layers of your emotions, for you to sit in your feelings, for you to welcome in pleasurable moments that you can also feel, because we forget feeling your feelings is also feeling pleasure. Hello, somebody. Feeling your feelings means also feeling happiness, joy, excitement. So allowing yourself to sit in those feelings and experiencing pleasure and not denying yourself that is a great way for you to be able to manifest that which you're trying to manifest. It's also the way to help you feel at home in your body. So let's go to the last thing, which is Jupiter enters Leo. Peace to the Leos. Ooh, ooh. And this is where your confidence gets activated. Because we Leos, we all about that confidence, baby. Even when we really don't feel it, we gonna show it. Because we love a show. We love a show. We do. So this is the exciting one. So Jupiter, the planet of luck and expansion, hasn't been in Leo since like 2002, 2003. So this shift moves the collective energy from private, internal growth into visibility, into expressiveness, into confident energy. more creativity, more boldness, because we are bold as Leos, and more willingness to be seen. Because some of y'all, that's a thing. And that's another point that we will be working in the membership, is helping you with visibility. Because some of y'all are afraid to be seen. Some of y'all are still hiding. Still hiding. And I want to help you come out of that once and for all. And hiding invisibility also means that you could be holding back. You might sit in front of this camera and we're looking at you, but you're still holding back. So you're still hiding. Yeah. So here's the positive. So over the next 13 months or so, the invitation is to stop shrinking, to create, to lead, to be seen exactly as who you are and be unapologetic about that thing. Be like, I'm done apologizing. See me, love me in all my glory, baby, because this is who I am, right? Again, Leo fashion. We're going to show y'all how to do it, okay? We're going to show you how to do it. You can share briefly and authentically. And that is just that Leo energy that I have, that a lot of my peeps have. So for those that are Leos, and if it's Leo sun, Leo moon, Leo rising, this your time to shine, baby. This is your time to shine. Wherever Leo is in your chart, you are being called to show up bigger, brighter, and more expressive than ever before because of this. And this is beautiful, vulnerable, personal, and it builds trust within yourself. So here's not so positive. Jupiter and Leo can kind of tip into ego, so be careful. And I'm not talking about the good part of the ego, I'm talking about the bad part, the part where people don't want to deal with you. So be careful. Overcommitting. Yeah. It can also get you to start overcommitting because you got this now burst of energy and like, okay, so here's what we finna do. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And before you know it, you have overcommitted like a mofo. And you're like, whoa, I got way too much on my plate. So just be careful with that. Or you might start seeking too much validation instead of being grounded in your confidence. Be careful of that too. So this is the invitation is about authenticity in your visibility, not performance of attention. Because yes, we as Leos can do that too. We do. We do. I'm not afraid or ashamed to say it. We do. Because we love attention. Just do. We thrive on it. So let's pull our last card and then we're going to wrap this thing up. So about the Jupiter in Leo. Ah, ha, ha, ha. This is perfect. Honoring the flow. Honoring the flow. And this is Mama Kila. Honoring the flow. I welcome new life into mine. I am in the flow. Mm-hmm. I welcome new life into mine. I am in the flow. So let's bring all this together. So this week, with all this is happening tomorrow and the day after, this is all about clarity. Clarity about what's real. Consistency to hold steady through the emotional waters. Instead of fighting against the current, flow with it. Instead of fighting against the current, flow with it. And just slow down. And it's also about the early stirrings of confidence to finally be seen. So this literally means, or literally mirrors, the framework of what I will be coaching in the membership. So I want to invite you to be part of the Rooted and Radiant Sacred Sisterhood that I have built off of the exact things that we are talking about. Because I want to see you show up as your most authentic self. So again, it's $44 a month, or you can pay for the year, which is $333. With it being $333, you're saving quite a bit of money per month doing that. So again, there's monthly themes. You get oracle card readings every month. There are live sessions. I'll be recording some really beautiful meditations. A lot of the teachings are going to be pulled from the book. This book right here. I'm actually going to be teaching some out of this too. But this right here, and the reason why is because it's about spiritual liberation. But there are a lot of good things that you can be doing to help yourself that's in this book. This book is the book you read, and you'll journal a bit, and it also teaches you some things. And I'm not discounting this book at all. It's a good book. Get it. This book right here, though, this one is actually doing work. It's not a book, hey queen, it's not a book that you just buy, read, and then like, okay. No, there's work in there for you to do. Okay. So that's why I'm using that as a kind of a foundation of the membership, because we're going to be using some of the stuff that's in that book to help you in building consistency, building clarity, consistency, and confidence. Because it's all about bringing you into alignment, right? So I am so grateful for another beautiful Sacred Sunday. Let's all just take a deep breath in through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Let's do another inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. I thank you all for joining me this morning. Have a beautiful rest of your day, rest of the week. Make sure you check out the Rooted and Radiant membership. We start officially next month. Also, if you want to book your My Sacred Year reading and planning session for your mid-year reset, you can also do that as well. That's just $99. And you get a session with me that's like an hour and some change, because we really go deep. And if anybody that's on this call now, if you can attest to the readings and how I get down, you can let them know you're going to get your money's worth. Because I'm very thorough with it. All right. So you have your marching orders, and I love you. Have a beautiful rest of your day. I'll see you all next time. Thank you, Goddess Erin. She said it's well worth it. It is. It is. If I do say so myself. Dust off my shoulders. See, Leo confidence. Leo confidence. All right, y'all. Love you to Della Reese's Pieces. Have a good day. Bye.